Hello everyone and welcome back to the Metroid Randomizer tournament. My name is RoboScout and I am here with Sean Signa, and today we are commentating the race between Lokir and Gollop, which should be starting off very soon. Of course, we're soon play. How are you today, Sean? Sean? Can I hear you? It appears we are having some technical difficulties. Oh well, it looks like you are all stuck with me.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Darn, technical difficulties have saved chat from an entire stream of just me. No. But yes, we should be heading off soon. Of course, restream runners are off in real time. However, chat has been before we see them going off right here. Yes, we also have Link40, our wonderful tracker, who will be keeping an eye on the runners and what they are up to when we are busy talking about other very important things. Yes. Alright, and here we are, runners off to the races. I believe the runners didn't have any special arrays here. I believe it was just, Wavebusters replacing nothing.
Wavebusters.
Yep. That seems to have been a pretty common array that has snuck in recently, which I can understand why, considering, some people dislike how the nothing model can be confused with a suit, and it's not like Wavebuster really gives you too much of an advantage.
And on top of that, it just feels slightly better to get something rather than nothing, even if that something is basically nothing. That looks
that
like
that's boost ball to start.
Boost ball.
Yeah.
So I don't think charge beam is shuffled though, right?
No, charge beam is not shuffled. They should be starting, and that is an artifact underneath the ship, which not very helpful right now for their immediate progression, but I imagine they'll probably be glad to see an artifact in such a convenient place later down the line.
Definitely. I'm actually not sure if I got like 4 buttons on my keyboard right. So I just finished putting it back together after washing it. Also had to fix the LEDs because they were broken.
Doesn't look like we really... I didn't really see much on the main Plaza Legend. Neither of the runners seemed to be too interested in looking around to confirm what the items were, but... Let's see, head off to Hive Mecha for their first item. What will we have very early... Oh, that is Space Jump in Ruin Nursery, so... I certainly won't place
nice.
the be. Yeah. Nice for it to be early on, however, it being locked behind bombs will, I imagine, pose at least somewhat of a roadblock. Baja pointing out in chat, apparently the 2 PM race was absolutely spectacular, so should probably head back and watch it. I believe, checking on the schedule, the runners did random one-way elevators, which is always chaos.
Oh no.
Is Morph Ball on the Hive Mecha, which should at minimum combine with their Boost Ball to at least get them the check in the main Plaza half pipe, as opposed to the usual having to trek all the way back to landing site if you find Morph Ball in Hive Mecha. Or if you are absolutely insane, you could use Wall Boost to grab the Ruined Gallery item early, but however, it looks like neither of our runners are absolutely insane today. Well, it looks like Gollop is looking to make us a little worried with that 25 energy, although it doesn't look like that will stay that way for long. Thank you for our ears, Gollop. And our hearts. That is Morph Bombs and Main Plaza Half Pipe, and I can bet I know where Gollop is going right now. And I was gonna say it rhymes with something, but it's not a lot that rhymes with Ruined Nursery. Either way, there, Gollop's going there. It's kind of weird that Ace has gone this long without picking up missiles, and I guess it says something that our runners have barely even started yet. I'm saying they haven't picked up missiles yet. Missiles are a very common item. But I imagine with Space Jump that will be fixed before too long. Okay, we're doing some nice double bomb jump with some standable collision to skip doing the bomb puzzle in Ruined Nursery and grab that space jump just a few seconds earlier. Well, Gollop determined to erase my hopes for missiles early on as we just get Grapple Beam, which I do believe opens the grapple ledge in logic. Oh wait, never mind. I believe their tricks aren't able to get it with just Space Jump. Either way, I imagine the runners will probably be grabbing that soon. Look, you're not electing to check Rune Gallery immediately. That looks like a missile on the vault ledge. So, never mind, it looks like our missileless streak is over for now. Looks like E-Tank's Rune Shrine. Doesn't seem like too much important here, but hey, it's always good to have some spare collectibles early on. Gollop grabbing an E-Tank and Vault. Considering how low Lokir got, I can't really blame either of them for going for those E-Tanks.
I'm so sorry, my Discord crashed.
Wow! Apparently Discord does not like Sean today. Apparently Discord's in favor of me having solo control over commentary.
Everything crashed. Everything crashed, actually. Like, File Explorer crashed, which pretty much means the entire Windows 10 UI crashed.
Ah, yes, that. That happened, yeah. That's not concerning at all.
So, I see I missed quite a lot here. It's like, there's like 4 items I hadn't seen.
Yeah. Mostly just the runners running around Wave Buster, and that is our first Wave Buster of what I am sure to be many. Unfortunately, we broke our all ball items early on streak. Did not immediately collect Spider Ball. Well, I'm not sure they could have really gotten anything out of that logically, as I believe the first Spider Ball check is Dynamo. Ooh, that's an early artifact in Rune Gallery, so that's probably very nice for Lokir.
Oh yeah, actually, I missed 5 items because there's also missiles.
Wow. Anyway, you're here now,
stuff.
and that's what matters. It's interesting
Yeah,
how differently our runners have routed this early game. Gollop has seemingly rushed straight through into the mid chisel, while Lokir has taken his time to be more thorough in the early game. Oh, and never mind. It looks like Lokir is warping back to start to grab, I believe, the earliest talent items and artifact hints.
Yeah, most likely. There's 2 free items actually, and there's 1 artifact.
Yeah, that is 2 artifacts very early
Oh,
in the game.
actually, there might be 3 free items if Loka decides to climb up to the overgrown cave.
And also, that looks like a validator in Watery Hall that Gollop is just plainly ignoring right there. Or shame, Gollop, do you not want to be validated? Oh, and that is
Oh, that's
Gravity Suit and
gravity.
Dynamo. Very
Unfortunately, we can't
interesting.
check upper dynamo without this, without spider ball.
Yep. Gravity is
I
one
think
of those
they're gonna
items.
get. I think they are going to get. Yeah, they are
Ah,
going to get
Gollop is
flamethrower.
valid. Good
Yeah,
job.
it's just people usually get it when they're getting out of dynamo.
Yeah. Gravity, it's nice for some of the things, but it's also one of those items that you really don't want to see because then it puts Frigate into play, and
Yeah,
Frigate's
exactly.
just bad checks.
I mean, but to be fair, Gravity Suit is so beautiful. It even manages to look beautiful when in fusion form.
I mean, here's the even better thing. It prevents you from seeing Fusion Varia Suit, which is the best part. Because
I mean,
Fusion Varia is awful.
I mean, actually, I think Phazon is way worse.
Yeah, opinions. I think Fusion Gravity looks pretty good for. I think it's the best looking of all the fusion suits.
Yeah,
might
I
like
definitely
vanilla, though.
like this shade of purple.
Yeah,
Bit
purple's a
lighter.
good color.
Yeah, it's a
That's
good
Dry
color.
Canyon, Ice Ruins East, and
Furnace. Okay.
So, considering that Lokir has grabbed 3 artifacts already,
Oh
apparently.
yeah, we've already got 3.
Yeah, this is looking to be a seed that is pretty jet as far as artifacts go.
Yeah, this is a really fast seed. We can only hope for vanilla Phazon.
Yep. It appears Phazon Suit will have to pick up the slack as far as cursing this seed goes.
So Gollop's doing Zoid. We'll see what's in Burn Dome here. Oh, I don't think I don't think I got the other item. Or did I?
I think it was just a missile.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, considering the fact that it's Burn Dome and our runners actually checked it, it's probably a missile, because Zoid never has anything when you actually check it. But the second thing, it's probably safe to skip Burn Dome. Yeah, that's when it has Various Suit.
Oh yeah.
Well, speak of the devil, that is Various Suit in Burn Dome.
And also a power bomb expansion in Root Cave.
Ooh, that very interesting. Our runners are getting very different items here. Look, you're doing the out of bounds to go check Arbor Chamber.
I doubt Arbor Chamber will have anything useful. Just
It's unlikely, but it's possible.
Yeah, missile.
I mean, that missile mission might be useful later on, but
a few seeds. A few seeds back, it actually had Phazon Suit.
yeah, I think I remember seeing that one. Another E-tank and transport tunnel. It is really interesting how much our runner's routing has diverged and the different items they've gotten from it.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell.
Okay, that's
well, there goes the ball trend.
Okay.
So
yeah, unfortunately, Lokir doesn't seem to be doing very well when it comes to progression items. It seems that Chozo is way more packed.
That spider ball was very convenient as it will allow Gollop to grab this upper furnace item without having to do a very precise bomb jump, although they will have to get through the standable terrain present earlier in the sea.
Yeah, they won't have to do a very precise bomb jump, but that is a fairly precise space jump.
Ooh, that is... Yeah, unfortunately, it disables on morphing up there, so once you decide to make your decision to morph, you're stuck with it and you have to start all over.
Nice. It's a shame because they also got the jump perfectly the first time.
Yeah. Alright, come on, perspective. There we go.
Oh yeah, the Prime games have some really bad sections with the spider ball where you have to drop onto a platforms where you're not sure how deep it's in.
If you want to talk about Spider-Ball, go talk about Prime 2, because that game loves Spider-Ball. I stand by my theory that Retro is just really upset that players found a way to skip Thardus in Prime 1, and so decide to make like half the items in Echoes require Spider-Ball. It's ridiculous.
It's weird how much they seem to love Spider Ball when it looks so much better in Prime 1.
Facts.
So yeah, at this point, like here is just retracing Gollop's steps. Divergence didn't really pan out that well.
Yeah. I mean, grabbing artifact hints early is never a bad thing.
And also half the artifacts early.
Yeah.
Hello, Gravity. Good to see you again.
Yep.
So both runners are actually valid this time, which is good.
Yep. We don't have anyone cheating their duty and deciding to avoid validation.
Also, I put my keyboard back together, right? And I have 2 extra screws here.
Oh no!
Wonder where they go. That's a huge mind melter.
That's just the worst thing you want to hear when you want to see when you're trying to do any kind of maintenance on something or just taking something apart. Just
No, okay,
extra screws.
Seriously though, I know perfectly where these 2 go. I deliberately decided not to put them back in because they are the most annoying screws to get out and back in every single time. you probably know this, but like so many manufacturers or like engineers, people who actually design things, they just love to put screws underneath things that are glued to the product.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Or what's even better is when they have screws in the product, but then glue it shut anyways in addition to that. That's
Oh
always
yeah,
fun.
yeah, that's always really fun, really fun. Like they just couldn't spare the money for a few more screws and had to buy glue instead.
Or what's even better is when it's done out of spite so the consumer can't just open up the product and repair it.
Oh yeah, that's some proprietary. You must you'll void your warranty if you do uh if you do it yourself.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I just realised you actually foreshadowed that Zoid would have Varia.
Unintentionally so, considering I said it
Yeah.
wouldn't. Yeah, there I go. There
Yeah,
we
so,
go.
and, and then
Eating
the
my
one
own words
time,
again.
and then the one time they don't check it, it ends up being Varia. Yeah, there you go. Feels like Steed did that on purpose.
I feel like in my commentary runs, I've just become a connoisseur of eating my own words.
You see, you might think Randovania still needs some work done for like Tower of Light, stuff like that. You might think it's not perfect, but it's actually so perfect. It's taken on a life of its own. It's actually alive. It's actually
Hey,
listening
Tower
to
of
us
Light's the
and
one thing I can still
generating.
safely bet on without having to immediately eat my own words, so I'll keep that where it is, thank you very much.
Okay, so I wonder what's in Upper Dynamo.
It's
I
an
wonder
artifact.
when we'll see it. Oh
Oh,
yeah. Oh yeah.
oh wait, never mind, that was Upper Furnace. Upper
Oh
Dynamo,
yeah. Okay.
I think Gollop already checked it, and I don't believe it was anything exciting.
You sure they checked it?
I remember seeing them coming out of Watery Hall after they had grabbed Spider Ball and Furnace, so I don't know of any other reason Gollop would have to head back into Watery Hall with
Yeah.
at that point.
So, hello to SpeedGaming 2 with our party of 78. Welcome to the Metroid Prime Randomizer Tournament of 2021. Today we have Lokir and gollop here.
Yep. It's been a very close race so far. As our runners diverged basically very early on, and now they're basically redoing each other's steps at this point. And it's really going to be a mystery where they decide to go next. I imagine one of them might try to go head into Magma Pool, try to find anything there. Well,
the
Magmore also seems like
retracing.
Magmore might also be a very lucrative option of where to go.
The retracing, I think, was basically inevitable because while Gollop got progression in Chozo, Lokir got artifacts in Talon, so that's not really something you can avoid.
Yeah. Of course, while we're discussing options still on the table, there is, of course, everyone's favorite piece of flora, plant.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that was an tanking up a dynamo. Not too useless. So yeah, we're at 4 artifacts already. Only 23 minutes in.
Yeah, I'd say it looks like a jet seed so far, but that would probably just mean that Phazon Suit's gonna end up in Biohazard with supers on OP.
Oh, that would be. Oh, yeah. Or maybe with supers in that are plasma locked in. Actually, yeah, no, actually, that would make sense. Oh, sorry, I was trying to come up with something even worse, like introducing a third item.
Looks like Lokir has decided to go for the plant while Gollop is heading off into Magmore. Plant has been pretty lucrative in Rando compared to old versions, so this might pay off big time for Lokir if Plant does have something. Seems particularly fond of having Ice Beam often.
You know, I wonder why this divergence is actually happening though. Usually, when we see divergence in these runs, like usually every single time the runners will then go on to say they only did it because they knew their opponents would go somewhere else.
Interesting.
So I would like to see a race where for once divergences actually come from like the runners just routing differently because that's how they route things.
Yeah, no, that can definitely happen sometimes. There almost always seeds where things end up being ambiguous. So. Flagra is always a risk that you want to take, and it's perfectly in line for some runners to think that risk is worth it, and other runners to think that's not. Gollop finding X-ray in storage cavern, that seems to be at least, the trip to go to Magmore seems to be at least paying off for them so far.
Until we get supers, X-ray is definitely gonna come in useful to spy a few items.
Yep.
Gollop has Spider, right?
Yes,
was
Gollop
it way
does have
earlier than
Spider.
Lokir? But
Yeah,
I forgot.
However, both of them are using fusion suit, which means that Spider Ball is effectively invisible, so.
Yeah, I can't see it very well, which is really unfortunate, but Gollop does have Spider, which means if our tracker could quickly correct that, that would be appreciated. Yeah, thank you. So there's not much to say here for Flagra. Well, it's dead, so...
Yep.
Oh yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes the tracker just refuses to activate the item.
Yep. Tracker is hungry for inputs. Nom nom nom.
Yeah, I mean, it's done through the net, so
Yep.
I guess that would be a very common occurrence. I mean, you just have to look at the tracker itself. I think it's made purely in HTML with like no GUI of any kind. It's like literally an HTML table.
Yep. Lokir coming back around into Sun Chamber for round 2, this time with ghosts. The ghost of all the people who forgot to check Flogger earlier and then got really mad when it had something important. That's
Oh,
a
so
canon
that's why they
explanation.
scream.
Yeah, that's a canon explanation, right?
That's why they scream in pain and seem to be relieved when you kill them. So yeah, ghosts are really annoying. I mean, Prime 1 has so many annoying enemies, to be fair. Ghosts are just one of them.
Yeah. Ghosts are definitely very much on the annoying end of Prime 1. They're not so bad if you have super missiles and X-ray, but, well, we're lacking one of those super items.
Yeah, and I feel like any enemy that requires 2 items to reliably deal with and who respawns is annoying.
Yeah. Fortunately, it looks like Lokir's decision to head off into Sun Chamber has come up with the big fat 2 missiles. So, it seemed like Gollop
Oh, that's
made the better
huge.
choice in the end.
That's absolutely huge. That's massive. How will Gollop even recover from this?
That
That's
is
Vanilla
Vanilla
Wave.
Wave Beam!
Nice! Now we just need thermal.
That seed was... Oh boy, that... Vanilla Wave has been showing up an awful lot recently.
Yeah, it literally showed up in the last... Oh, that's way too loud.
Oh yeah, let it turn that volume down.
Okay,
Alright,
that's
hopefully
better.
that
Yeah.
got it, yeah.
I don't think it's as quiet as Lokir's audio, but it's low enough. It's quiet enough. Yeah, but as I was saying, Vanilla Beam... Vanilla Wave, I'm sorry. Can you imagine a vanilla beam, just a beam that shoots vanilla? So, yeah, Vanilla Wave Beam has been showing up a lot. It showed up in the last trace I conned yesterday.
Yeah, I remember
Actually, I think you were one of the runners
Yeah, I
in
was
that.
one of the runners. I was about to be like, yeah, I was in a race yesterday, and it did have Vanilla Wave Beam, so... Yeah, that would check out.
Yeah, it has been showing up a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't personally seen it that much, but then again, I don't watch the other streams. Like, I only really watch the ones I participate in. Like, sometimes I just don't feel like watching the other ones. But yeah, twice in a row is enough for me. So that's the 5th artifact for Gollop. We're 33 minutes in.
Yeah, this is... Phazon, it's all on you to make this seed cursed. Remember, the last one is in Fendrana Canyon, so... Won't be long until... Gollop has caught them all.
And that's the last artifact for Gollop. There we go. Now we just need to find ice, plasma, and phazon.
Yep, that really is at this point because artifacts decide to slack off on their job, just show up all in the early game.
Yeah, I wonder where ice could be.
Yeah, Ice Peak can't be in too many more locations because it's required for a lot of late game doors, but
Yeah, it really is. I'm trying to think if
it could be vanilla. That would be funny.
I'm trying to think if reverse frigate can be done without ice. If it can be reached, actually.
No, it can't. Well, technically, no. I believe the outer doors to enter and exit frigate are both Ice Beam, and irregardless, you would need Ice Beam to get into the Great Tree Hall.
Okay. So it can't be in frigate, anywhere in frigate, which is good.
Yeah.
It could be.
There's
Let's see.
labs as an option. There
Probably
is Artist as an
somewhere-
option.
Probably somewhere in Magmore.
I believe the only place in Mag where we haven't seen yet that could have ice is Workstation.
Actually, have we seen magma pool, training chamber access, and training chamber?
Actually, that is true. We have not seen any of
that's like
those.
3 checks that we are equipped for.
Yep, those are all in logic.
I mean, not really, because we haven't found main power bombs yet. But the latter two are maybe not magma pool, but training chamber and training chamber access are definitely in logic.
No, Magma Pool's in logic too. They've got Varia, they've got Grapple Beam, and they've got Power. Actually, never mind. Power Bomb.
I said, I don't think we have main power bombs.
I believe Randomania works solely on main.
expansions.
Yeah, Randomania works solely on main
expansions.
logic, so.
Yeah, exactly. So when you actually play a seed, regardless of when you get a missile expansion, to actually figure out what the logic requires of you, like what the logic expects you to do, you have to look out for when one of those missiles says missile launcher. Because when it says missile launcher, that means that's when that's where logic put the main item. Okay, that's a that looks like a ball. I think that's main PBs. So PBs are super locked. Okay. That's definitely one way of. That's one way of. Wow, I just can't comment on that. Like, wow. So I do wonder where supers are. Can you imagine if supers are a training chamber or something? And the logic expects you to go all the way there, then come all the way back to get power bombs, and then go back there to get the item.
I don't know about you, but that sounds great.
Oh, that sounds absolutely
fantastic. Can that be a thing? Of course, now that I said it's not going to be a thing, darn it.
I think it can be. I think it's logically possible. Unless
it's absolutely logically possible. It's just not going to happen because Randomania likes making me eat my own words.
So yesterday, I'm assuming you were praying that the seed would be straightforward.
Yeah, no, it was not.
So yeah, without power bombs, Lokir is just using bombs. It is just bombing the she-goth's belly.
Yeah. It's a variety of ways to get through it, but bombing them seems to be a very reliable way, considering you need bombs to get in here, so.
By the way, the she-goths really don't look balanced. They look like they would constantly need to worry about not falling over.
Their leg muscles must be... Cause...
Yeah, those
Yeah.
must be extremely strong. Those must be so strong. I mean, I think they can actually make pretty huge jumps. Or am I wrong? Because I think I remember seeing them jump. Or maybe I'm remembering the Torvus enemies from Echoes that are very similar.
Yeah, I think that's the... I think you're thinking of the Gruntlers. I don't believe Sheegoths ever jump. Oh, but you also have to consider they have giant ice shields on their back. Those are gotta be heavy.
Yeah, ice is very heavy despite being water.
I mean, heck,
It's
water's very
dense.
heavy if you have a lot of it.
It's dense. Yeah, water's also really heavy. Just have you ever seen a filled aquarium? Just a normal aquarium, just an average aquarium, like 50 liters or something.
Yeah, so in summary, Sheegoths are swole.
Yeah, Sheegoths definitely are.
Wait, hold on, maybe that's how they resolve their balance issues. They just balance it out by hugging around a massive lunk of ice on their back.
Oh, that might be. I mean, they don't fall over when you break it, though.
That is true. That is true. These are the very important questions that we discussed during Prime Randomizer tournament commentary.
Yeah, see, that's what you were referring to when you mentioned the really important questions.
Of course. Yeah, looks like Lokir is just about to grab his final artifact, and then to go on the wonderful hunt for Go mode.
Yeah, hunt for Go mode is right, because we don't even know what Go mode is.
Yeah. Does look like Gollop has not found much luck finding any ice beams in labs.
Welcome to SpeedGaming 1 with their party of
You're kidding me!
66.
You have got to be kidding me!
Nice. Ether. Nice. Really...
Nice ice!
Just really good. Okay, so... Ice is not Go mode.
Me and my big fat mouth.
So, I'm reading in chat, this jives nicely with an earlier comms question on what would be the tastiest Metroid creature.
Yeah, I know some people were debating, would you eat a Metroid? I don't know, I'd say it depends on the stage of evolution, but I feel like the later stage of evolution would be even more expensive to have cooked, considering they're rare and also you have to kill it, but...
I mean, I can't really participate in the debate over what would be the tastiest, because I don't have taste buds.
Unfortunate. You must like pineapple on pizza then.
I think it's fine. I mean, I think people who say it's terrible just... I mean, usually they've never tried it, which is just... I mean, at that point, they just sound like they're in it to conform, because that's the popular opinion.
I think part of it is definitely it's a meme.
Yeah.
On the other hand, there are people who do put absolutely disgusting things on pizza. I do not understand it, but they are free.
One thing I can say about pineapple that's pretty bad. It actually consumes flesh, So yeah, don't keep it in your mouth for too long, especially if it's really juicy, because those juices will slightly corrode your insides.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a weird quirk of pineapple. It just consumes meat. So anyway, while we're talking about pineapple, Lokir has also seen main
There's a hot
PB.
discovery.
Oh no! So frigates in logic.
Yep.
Let's go. Frigate is actually my favorite area in the game. It's not from a gameplay standpoint. It's just aesthetically speaking.
Yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful area, and the music just fits it so well.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just in Randomizer, you never want to go there just because there's just so much work in between the 3 checks that are there. But yeah, it absolutely works for what its purpose is in the vanilla game, but vanilla game is not Randomizer. And the devs were not designing for Randomizer all those years ago.
Actually, every new Metroidvania game should have a randomizer option integrated.
That would be cool. Yeah.
I mean, it obviously would take more effort to program, but it would also take some work off the main game, because then you could just use the randomizers. You could use the randomizer you program to actually create the main game's item placements.
Yeah, I don't feel like item placement is usually a thing that takes up a lot of effort in a traditional randomizer program, but we have been seeing some Metroidvania games include built-in randomizers recently. I know, or at least officially dev-supported ones. I know Axiom Verge officially implemented a fan-made randomizer into its code, and I believe Bloodstained Ritual of the Night also officially made one. Although both of these things did happen, I believe, several years after their games launched, so mileage may vary, but it's a nice bonus to add on to Metroidvania games. It adds a lot of, and I find it adds a lot of replay value.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like any game with any random mechanic that can be repeated so much, definitely adds a lot of replay value.
Yep. Of course, however, the trade-off with any kind of random mechanic is that you lose the ability to control it to create a designed experience.
Yeah, of course. I think it would be a nice side mode to
Yeah, it's definitely a nice side mode, but as a main mode, incorporating RNG isn't always the best play.
Like, maybe you could, on top of having an item randomizer, you could also have a room generator, so you could generate different worlds, different maps to have the player actually play in. So that would be good if you still wanted to design the map for the main game normally, but still wanted to give a randomized playthrough a concrete feeling of actually being, actually feeling right. Because when you randomize items in a map like a Metroid games, you just it just ends up being a bit. It ends up feeling a bit wrong, because obviously the entire map was designed for the original progression.
Yeah, and obviously it does create a lot of issues. Like, there are a lot of holes Randomizer has to patch over to make the main game well, functionally work with all the changes that Randomizer introduced. Like, there's a lot of fixes and basically like trigger layers that are pasted over so the game doesn't break when you do things that the main game could never have accounted for, even with glitches.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why it might be better to just design your game with a randomizer in mind.
Yeah. It also helps in case runners ever do something crazy and manage to break your game in a way you didn't expect.
I mean,
And add a lot of depth to it.
like I said yesterday, if there's a new Vegas randomizer, people will create a randomizer for literally any game. So why not take that into account when you're actually making it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't see what was in plasma processing. I
Yeah,
was actually telling myself I would look, but I ended up not looking.
Considering Gollop immediately turned away and did not go out, I suppose it could have been Phazon suit in there, but if that was the case, I imagine we probably would have gotten some raid shots.
But yeah, since we don't have plasma yet, we don't have to worry right now. If they go back there when they do have plasma, I guess we'll know. If it wasn't shiny, then it could have been either super missiles or ice spreader.
Yeah.
Because plasma beam is somewhat shiny, and Phazon suit is like, it's not shiny, but you can definitely tell what it is just by shape alone.
Yeah. Unless it's a nothing, in which case... Wait, never mind, nothing's right here. Yeah, so you can definitely tell what's Phazon suit and what's not.
Yeah, it could be ice spreader, a wave buster. Oh, welcome to SpeedGaming Française, with a party of 24. This is the Metroid Prime Randomizer tournament for 2021. We have Lokir and gollop. Gollop just annihilated their first elite. Which reminds me, yeah, Gollop's in mines, so we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see if this pays off.
Who knows? This does tend to be where one of the late game items show up, but who knows? Could be anywhere.
Like I always say, yeah, that's why randomizers would go really well with randomized maps, because since the game is designed with the original progression in mind, it makes an item randomizer a lot more likely to put the items closer to their vanilla locations, especially the late game ones. I think there was a wave buster in Grapple's room.
Doing some good old infinite speed boost, or just boosting to through the wall. Because what are walls really except suggestions?
Have you ever seen a wall with your own two eyes?
I mean, I think so, but what if it was not actually a wall, and what if it was just like an illusory wall?
That was an illusion. You need to wake up. There are people living in your walls.
I think that looks like something important in the behind the mining laser. So
yeah,
Yes, it looks like a
Going
bean
through the
combo, so
trouble of actually opening it up definitely
yeah.
is.
Well,
Yep, that's one of the
not a
bean.
beam combo, but
Okay.
I'm sure Gollop is happy nonetheless.
Okay, that's good. So it is phase on go mode as always. I'm actually surprised we haven't found supers yet.
Yeah, I mean, supers can be in many places.
Unless
They
they
don't.
were in plasma processing.
Yeah, true. Gollop did immediately turn around upon finding plasma beam and did not just proceed further into mines. So that might actually tell me that plasma processing did have something, and they're just immediately going back.
What if it was phase on?
That would be a very cruel seed.
I haven't seen someone actually climb up this room the intended way in a long time.
Yeah.
Also, if I may, dear Space Pirates, I think that's pretty bad design if you need to rearrange the tower every single time you need to send the ball up
I think it
to a
is.
different floor.
I know
You
we.
could have just had 3 tracks. Like, come on.
I feel
I
like
mean,
there
you
are
already had
several.
3, actually.
There are many illogical design decisions inside the Space Pirate base. Like, well, let's say observatory. If you ever want to, get to the other side of your base, you have to make sure the observatory is turned on. Don't want to just waste power looking at observatory when you've, already seen it. Nah, it turns off and the platforms are all done. Then again, pirates are pretty much implied to be parkour masters, considering how much you see them jump around. So, I don't know, maybe they
Yeah, I mean,
were the
some
people
even
who invented
fly,
scan dashing. Yeah.
some even, like, they have really easy access to jetpacks, so I guess that makes up for it.
There also are a few times where you see them coming out of tunnels that just open up, so it is somewhat implied that there are more parts of the base that we aren't seeing, but still, it's
They
fun to
are
make fun
very
of the pirates.
suspicious, they vent a lot. So yeah, thank you for watching, we'll see you next mission. Okay, so I think we're doing, what are we doing actually, with Gollop? I think we're doing Plasma Elite. No, I'm sorry, Phase on Elite. But no, this isn't Phase on Elite. This is, yeah, just the one that breaks out here. And that's the second Elite for Gollop.
Yeah.
Destroying the droid as usual. There we go. Come on. Come on. I'm pretty sure you just need one charged plasma shot to finish that off, but finish that guy off, but yeah. Yeah, classic Phazon hunt. Phazon does tend to be go mode because
Yep.
it's a very late game item, and because of what I said earlier, late game items, if you don't randomize the map or the elevators, it will usually end up in very late game areas.
Yeah, due to the way Randovania works, it prioritizes items that give you checks early on. So not only does this create a trend of basically where seeds tend to be quicker than they did in old Bash versions, it also means that items that don't open up a lot of checks tend to not be placed until very late into the game, which is how you see them in places like mines.
Yeah, the maze for Power Bombs is actually, I think it's generated every like when the cutscene plays, right? So that I guess you'd have to like to figure out how many possible mazes there are. I guess you would have to take into account a lot of numbers. Like
I
you'd
do
have to
believe
take
people
into
have done
account
it.
many variables.
I do believe any percent runners take advantage of a program where basically you input a few of the base variables that you can see in the cutscene, and it actually gives you a path which you can take to get through the maze in the shortest amount of time possible. And there are people who've calculated like the mathematical limits of the shortest maze and the longest maze. I believe there actually aren't that many. Like, I think there's only like somewhere around 200, but that's just my faulty memory remembering something I think I heard years ago.
I mean, if you just take into account, like it's really hard to figure out how many possible outcomes there are for something that's random and has all these variables because you have to to realize that like when you're trying to figure that out, if one variable has like four different states, different possible states, the the um the possibilities for the outcome at the end just increase exponentially, like literally like literally exponentially. So yeah, it's a lot. I don't think there's only around 200.
I think it might just, it's not necessarily like the amount of all possible combinations, it's how many possible completable mazes and how many basically take advantage of all the elements of the maze, because like they created a bunch of like gimmick elements for the maze with like the water puddle that can splash and like the temporary barriers, and I believe the way they have it coded is that you're almost guaranteed to use both of them. So I think
Yeah,
it's not
there's
entirely, there's a lot of limitations on it.
yeah, there's definitely some limitations, but we have like three variables, right? We have three. We
Yeah.
have three mechanics. Yeah, we have three mechanics. We have the permanent walls, the flickering walls, and the puddles. Okay, so according to the Metroid fandom wiki, a quick search gives 300 different mazes.
Oh,
How
yeah,
many
never mind. I'm looking
squares
at
are there?
speedrun.com. The maze finder says there are 300 powerbomb mazes.
Oh, okay. That's actually not too bad.
Yeah.
I think it's like 25 squares.
Uh, tempted
I
to
think
say
it.
it's more than that,
I
but
think it's a five
oh
by
no.
five.
Oh, I
Or
just
could
saw
it be a
Gollop saying
could
we're
it be
good.
a 7 by 7?
Yeah, 7 by 7 would make more sense to me.
Oh, I don't remember which one it is.
Either way, you're unlikely to memorize all of them.
Yeah. So now let's get back to serious matters.
What, you mean we haven't gotten severely distracted previously?
So there's did you know, or actually did you remember that there's a pirate log in the game that says Among Us?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Let's see, do I have admin powers on this server? Shoot, I do not.
It's one of the logs in Elite Research. It says the bounty hunter is among us. And it's like when they first realized that Samus was on the planet.
Yeah, the pirate logs are pretty great. I don't know, I love how the pirates were characterized in this game. It just... I don't know, they feel so alien, they're so... I don't know, they managed to strike a pretty good balance between just, like, the lighthearted nature of them being just absolute idiots and throwing science at the wall to see what sticks while still feeling, like, threatening and alien. I don't know, I like the pirate logs. I really like the scan values in this game. It took me a long time to just stop and
they're threatening because of their nature, of their light-hearted nature. That's why they're threatening, because they do this dangerous stuff without even worrying about
I mean, they basically found super uranium, and their basic reaction was like, okay, what if we put it into rocks? And thus, that's how we got Thardis.
We found super uranium. You know what? Let's inject it into us, into ourselves, to create elites.
Not even that. They just wanted to see what happened.
They're definitely very curious.
They are firm believers in the scientific method. Actually, never mind, they're not, because the scientific method requires you to hypothesize beforehand, and I'm pretty sure the pirates never actually expected anything. They just threw it at the wall to see what stuck.
They called a creature the Metroid Prime, and it's not a Metroid.
I believe lore-wise it was originally a Metroid, but the lore about the origin of the Metroid Prime got retconned a few times as they realized that their original explanation did not make sense with the original barrier. I believe in the NTSC 0, the explanation was that it was originally a Metroid that the Space Pirates brought with them to start cloning on Talon 4, and somehow got inside the impact crater. But I believe later revisions made it.
So it's called the Metroid Prime because it's the first one that was used to then create every other Metroid on Talon. That's literally it. Nice.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Thanks. Very, very good lore. Nice. Let's shoot these guys.
I believe the modern lore is that the Metroid Prime was already in the impact crater when it arrived on Talon, which does actually raise a lot of questions, which, I don't know, maybe we could see how that got answered in Prime 4, because that is a big open question that they still have that is not answered, because Metroids are native to SR388, and as far as we know, they never really left there, so how the hell did one get on phase? Or at least the impact, or at least inside the Mater. Did it make a pit stop by SR388 to pick up a weapon of mass destruction?
Gollop just messed up a Mega Pirate here. Oh, by the way, Gollop's fighting a Mega Pirate.
Yeah, we've gotten a tad distracted.
Yeah, so unfortunately they weren't able to finish it off. Like, he's got like a smidge of health left, which is super annoying.
Yeah. And the worst part is that you can't do the AI manipulation trick to just make him to just walk in circles around him, because the Omega Pirate will just auto-lock onto you after the first match, so you can't just... You have to actually fight Omega Pirate legit if you fail the one cycle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before that, but we were talking about EXO, right?
Yep.
And the co-commentator said, so yeah, in the EXO fight, you can actually manipulate the AI. You can exploit the AI into never shooting at you and just doing melee attacks by getting close to it. So my natural response was, well, that just sounds like the AI doing exactly as planned, like behaving as programmed. You get close, it tries a melee attack. That sounds really normal. That doesn't sound like an exploit at all.
On the other hand, it would probably make sense that if an enemy used the same move 5 times in a row and it didn't work on a single time, it might try something else. And for those who don't know, though, this doesn't mean gollop found phase on suit. The cutscene always basically increases your suit by 1. So,
yeah,
just
which is really interesting in this game because, yeah, like if you only have Varia when you come here, it will actually show gravity in the cutscene. It doesn't use the phase on suit model. It just uses the model of the next suit.
And the ending cutscene actually
really weird.
Well, speaking of phase on suit.
Oh, speaking of the devil. Okay. So that's what phase on was. And yeah, we are in go mode for gollop.
Yep.
Without supers. Wow.
At least we have to say is that the ending cutscene.
OP required.
OP required. Secretly, with jet artifacts, but OP required.
Yeah, baby.
But yeah, so I was going to say the ending cutscene. It works in 2 different ways. In one of the cutscenes, I believe in the cutscene where the crater is exploding in Samus's dishonor ship watching the Helios, it will always have you having gravity suit. But in the cutscene where basically the Prime Essence steals your suit, afterwards it will just decrement your suit by 1. It will show the proper suit, I believe. So I believe if you didn't have a gravity suit, it will just show basically the various. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting this wrong, but maybe I'm getting it mixed up. But I know one of them will have you always displaying gravity suit, and one of them will just have whatever suit you properly had displayed.
So here we are with the ugliest suit in the game. Fusion phase on. Suit. Fusion phase on, yeah. Hi Ridley! Missed you.
I mean, when you think about it, the phase-on suit and basically the fusion last suit, which I believe some people call the Omega suit, they're actually pretty similar. They're basically what Samus gets when they absorb basically absorb the last one of the source of the main Big Bad's power. So it actually is kind of fitting that they replace each other and when you do fusion mode in Prime.
Wow, it's almost as if thought went into this game.
Really?
It's almost as if there were developers behind this game and not just Randomania bots.
We didn't just generate a bunch of seats until we came out with Metroid Prime?
Yeah, so we just generated a bunch of seats for...
this one looks good, ship it.
I wonder what the odds are of getting everything vanilla on
very low.
That would be incredible.
It would be absolutely incredible to see. Unfortunately, what the odds of that are so low, I doubt we'll ever see it.
I think something else that would be nice would be to just make a Randomania seed that's just everything is vanilla, right? Like you hide that, you don't tell the runners, and you just have they just have to slowly realize that it's just vanilla.
Yeah, that would be a really funny prank to pull on the runners at some point during tournament.
They just have to slowly come to terms with the fact that you're making them play the vanilla game basically.
Although unfortunately, I don't believe that you could pull that off in the tournament, as the difference, as I'm pretty sure runners would just, hey, why is this 12 artifacts and why did we not start with Charge Beam? But I don't know, theoretically eventually someone will socially engineer a situation that will allow that to happen and it will be glorious.
Okay, so what we need to do is create a bunch of a bunch of Smurf accounts, right? To
Yep.
enter the Discord server, and when the next poll starts for what the rules should be for next time, we have to make it so Charge Beam is shuffled.
Yep. And that we run off 12 artifacts. I do
And then we'll
believe.
get banned because I'm pretty sure that's very much frowned upon and not allowed.
Yeah, probably. I no. Dark Zero. I believe Dark Zero does actually have a tool that lets him manually create seeds. So maybe if we convince him that it would be really funny, we can get him to come get in on this prank.
Who do you think would be the best people to actually do this to? The best victims.
I feel like I don't know. There are a few people in this community who do also run any percent, but whether that will be a benefit or a sidetrack would be the real question. Because what you really want is just the people who, because you're basically just seeing how long until they figure it out.
I think they figure it out in like 4 items in.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if 4 items. I feel like
Progression items, of course.
yeah, I feel like vanilla missiles. Obviously, no one's gonna bat an eye at that. Vanilla space jump. I feel like with some of the early Chozo items, you could probably get away with, but I feel like once you get to Vanilla Varia, after everything else being vanilla, people would get very suspicious and probably catch on.
Gollop used flamethrower.
I don't know what you're talking about. That seems like an optimal strategy for me. Heck, it probably is optimal considering Gollop does not have super missiles or ice spreader. So.
Yeah, actually, we don't have the 2 good missile combos.
Yep.
We only have the 2 worst ones. Welcome to SpeedGaming 4 with our party of 53. This is the Metroid Prime Randomizer Tournament of 2021. We have Lokir versus Gollop. Gollop's actually pretty close to finishing. Yeah, Gollop only got 1 powerbomb expansion.
Yep. Yeah,
We never
because
did
main
find-
PBs were in the Hydra lock behind supers. So
Yeah, we never did find supers, so yeah, that's gonna be fun to read when we see the credits.
yeah. And of course, you have to remember that finding main power bombs is logically required to have any power bomb in logic. So the game, and considering you need power bombs to head through lower mines, the logic did expect them to go find wherever supers were.
I genuinely cannot even imagine where supers could have been.
Somewhere in
Frigate or
the
something?
there's also the training chamber agreement. There's also anti-chamber, life grove. Yeah, there are a few spots for supers could be.
I don't think they could be in Life Grove. We need power bombs for that. I think you're logically required to have power bombs to get anything in Life Grove.
Yeah, actually, yeah, true. That would be the case. There's
But
still
maybe
great
Life
breach.
Grove Tunnel.
No, you need power bombs to get in there too.
Alright, so nowhere near Life Grove. I think Frigate makes some sense. Like, unless I missed something.
Well, there is biohazards, which does require supers, so can't be in there. So it would have to be either a cargo freight lift or
At the very end.
hydro access tunnel. So, Pat.
Yeah, nobody checked Thardus.
Looks like Lokir
Okay.
also actually failed
Yeah,
the one
Lokir's
cycle
almost
LP.
done with the Mega Pirate. I mean,
Yeah.
a Mega Pirate is required, so you can't really be surprised that Lokir would be fighting it too. Okay, there goes Mega Pirate. And Gollop's almost done with Exo here. I really want to know where super missiles were.
It is an interesting question. But the Rose have actually taken quite a bit of damage over the course of the two bosses they were fighting. Lokir also only grabbed one of the two gold energy, which is, I don't know, interesting decision. Maybe just didn't notice how low health he was at.
And there's Lokir's Phazon suit.
Lokir also not opting to warp to start right here. Never mind, he's turning back around, he realized where he could go.
Also, today I started doing a quiz to figure out if you might have some form of autism or ADHD, something like that. And some of the questions felt like they were spying on me because they were really, really
I mean, there's a good
accurate.
there's a good chance. Whatever. Depends on the environment. I won't say much, I don't really know too much, but the online data collection is the thing.
One of the questions was like, do you often hear sounds and like interpret them as voices? I was, yeah, I do really often. So, Gollop's doing Essence. Having both visors definitely helps here. Helps do some more damage. Yeah, that's actually why we found X-Ray so early.
Yeah.
Because a Mega Pirate was in Logic today.
Yep.
Which is quite a sight to see.
Oh yeah, Gollop taking care to try to avoid getting pool skipped, which is always a fun fate when it happens, so always best to avoid it.
Yeah, I remember like one or two races back. One of the runners actually deliberately got pool skipped just so they could skip to a phase, like just so they could skip a phase that required
Oh
a visor
no,
they
and
didn't
Gollop
have.
just got pool skipped. Unfortunately, like, Essence still runs around and does the attacks when you got pool skip. The only thing pool skipping skips is just them Essence dropping the pool, which is a very fun mechanic.
Also, why does Dark Samus have 3 eyes?
Phazon does weird stuff.
I mean, Essence only has 2. Oh, there goes Essence.
I mean, Essence has a lot more than 2 eyes right now.
Okay, so Gollop should have gotten an invite to
Unfortunately,
join
I
us if
don't
they
believe
want.
Gollop does vocal interviews. Gollop has never spoken in the server, as far as I know. They are the
Oh, okay.
silent pillar of the
Okay.
community.
Oh well. But yeah, GG's to Gollop, and I think Lokir actually forfeited.
Yep.
So Lokir should get an invite now if they want to join. And there we go. Hi Lokir.
Hello there, Lokir.
Hello, hello.
How was the seed?
It was fine. It was okay. My mind's movement is bad, and it could have been better, but you know, I thought I played pretty well.
Yeah, you didn't do bad at all.
That's the
Actually
farthest I've gotten in my losses. Of my 3 losses, that's the first time I've actually gotten to final bosses.
I mean, yeah, you two are pretty close in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew. I figured going into this matchup that it was going to be a really close matchup. Yeah, and
there was actually a lot of divergence in this race, especially early on.
Did Gollop skip Flagra?
I think they did.
Yes, I believe they did. And I think that really ended up giving Gollop the early... Alright, let's see, where was Super Missiles? Because we were curious on this.
I have no idea. You needed them for power bombs.
Yep. Which were logically required because lower mines.
Yep. Nice French vanilla Phazon.
Elder Chamber.
Elder Chamber.
Oh,
that's gross.
That's incredible. So, wait. Were you supposed to go get supers?
Or you had to get plasma in mine. Yeah, you had to get plasma in mine. Head all the way over to Late Chozo to grab supers. Then head all the way back to Hydra to grab power bombs. And then and only then could you head into logically head into lower mines to grab Phazon suit.
That's just rubbish.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with how I played. I think I had some, like, comparing my movement in this match to my movement in week 1, I've improved so much, and that's really all I can ask for.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at this.
Yeah. I've had to face tough opponents, and I've been keeping up with them, and that's great.
Yeah, that's definitely something to be proud of.
Oh, I don't really know what else to say. It felt like a 3.1 seed or 3.0 seed.
Yeah, it was overall pretty chat aside from Plasma and Phazon suit.
Which is basically
And
what 3.0 was every single seed.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
shout outs to Required a Mega Pirate.
Yep.
yep.
Shoutouts to me almost getting the 1 cycle.
Yeah,
I'm not entirely
almost.
sure what I did wrong there.
Yeah.
Gollop
honest, I
also
haven't
messed
really,
that
like-
up though.
I haven't really watched like a guide on Plasma 1 cycle. I was like, I've just seen people do this. Let's see if I can pull it off. And then I almost did, and I felt really good, but not quite.
Yeah, Gollop also didn't make it, so that's
Yeah.
okay.
I was having a lot of trouble breaking the armor, though. If I had had more than 5 missiles, that would have been nice, but you know.
So I always
there's
keep
an
track
ammo-
of my
I think
missile
there's an
count when
ammo
I'm heading into
station.
lower mines. Yeah, because there's a missile. There's one of the 2 missile refill locations in the main game in lower mines. So I always
Yeah, I
check
was
my missile
thinking
count when
about
I'm
it.
heading down there.
I was thinking about it. I was like, I can just use Plasma. It'll be fine. And then it wasn't fine.
Missiles are actually good in Prime 1.
Yep.
Yeah, especially when you rapid fire them.
Yeah. They're actually good almost completely unintentionally.
Luckily, they did correct this in Prime 2. They almost made missiles nice to use. They couldn't have that.
Okay,
Yeah,
what's
no.
That. Let's see. Are they saying anything fun? Probably not.
Yeah, chat's been mostly pretty calm.
Yeah, it was really quiet during the stream.
Yep. Although we did have a lot of rampant theorizing between the 2 of us, I think we got pretty off topic during this race.
Yeah, and the few people who were actually in chat.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure chat learned a few things though. Maybe not what they expected to learn, but they will learn nonetheless.
Definitely.
Very fun.
That's why you come to us, right? To hear wild speculation about Metroid lore.
Yes. And the details of the mechanics of how selecting mazes work. Or at least what we theorize, and then someone looks up and tells us we're both wrong.
Yeah, there's about 300. I think actually about, or I don't know if it's about.
No,
or
exactly 300 separate mazes.
Exactly 300 possible mazes.
So yeah, for more fun facts, check out the next time the 2 of us commentate together.
Or just the next time I commentate. I'm not sure how often you get distracted, but I get distracted a lot.
Oh, don't worry. I'm also just very good at eating my own words. Ice Beam hasn't shown up yet. I wonder if it's going to show. It's probably not going to show up soon. And then Ice immediately shows up in Aether.
Yep.
I'm really good at that.
When the runners check Zoid, it doesn't have anything, but the moment they try not to check it, it has Vario or something.
And then seconds later, oh hey there, Varia.
Yeah. Yeah, Vario and Zoid, incredible. It actually had something useful today.
Yep. Really sad about that Flogger play, but oh well. I knew I probably shouldn't have done Ghosts, because I didn't have Supers, and that would have been a big time save, just saying, screw it, I know this only has like a 2% chance of progression, but I was like, what if this is that 2% of seeds, you know?
Yep, it's...
Yeah, well,
there's always
playing
the chance.
randomizers.
That's how randomizers work. There's just sometimes stuff is random.
Yeah, playing randos is actually very unhealthy. It's basically gambling.
Okay,
With
it's
less
gambling, but
consequences.
yeah, gambling with less consequences and more zoom.
with less economic consequences.
And more flying sideways.
True.
And more getting frustrated.
I don't know. Gamblers seem pretty frustrated about these things. Anyway, probably wrap us up soon. I think we should
It's because
probably
they
wrap.
just lost their entire life savings.
Yeah. Before we get on another tangent, I think we could probably wrap this up. Unless you have anything else
Yeah.
you want to say, Lokir.
I think I've said the things I needed to say.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if there's nothing else from chat as well, I think we can wrap this up. Huge thanks to Link40 for tracking today. You're
Yep.
really good at it. Thanks to Lokir and Gollop for running. Thanks to you for watching. Thanks to RoboScout for helping me commentate this heat. And yeah, in general, thanks to everyone. Thanks to SpeedGaming for hosting this.
Yeah. Follow the runners. Follow the trackers.
Check out
Follow the
everyone
commentators
in
except
here.
me because I don't stream anything except for just whenever I'm live on tournaments. So don't follow me; it's useless. But follow the other people if you want; they're cool.
Check out everyone, especially RoboScouts. And yeah, we'll see you next mission. Actually, just a second. We should probably see what the other races just say what else is there.
Oh yeah, I've got did put some. Gulp says some spicy item locations.
It's true.
Okay, so there is. Oh yeah, there were two races at the same time today. By the way.
Yep, there were. Don't worry, if you want more Prime, there's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, there's
still more races today.
At 9 p.m. today, actually, we have the Kershi versus Fizzy, I'm not sure, race on SpeedGaming 3, 9 p.m. EDT. So, you know where to go. And that's all for today. Tomorrow we'll have one race at 1 p.m.
We only had 5 races today.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Sorry, we'll try and outdo ourselves. We'll try and do better next time, SpeedGaming. I'm sure your scheduling people love us right now.
Yeah, there's actually 4 this Saturday. And just 2 this Sunday, so that's a bit lighter. But yeah, that was all. So yes, we will see you next mission, and good night.
Yep, good night all.